Good evening. Welcome to Election Night 2020. Tonight we have Senator Al Franken from the great state of Minnesota versus the incumbent president, Donald Trump, running of course with the incumbent vice president, Mike Pence, versus Terry McAuliffe from the great state of Virginia. Let's go over some polling data. The approval rating of the president is disapproved plus 11. The national average has Franken ahead plus 2. Nevada has Franken ahead by 5. Ohio, Trump is ahead by 13, double-digit lead, and another double-digit lead out of the state of Iowa, Trump plus 11. New Hampshire, Trump plus 1. Pennsylvania, Franken plus 4. Wisconsin, another Trump state from 2016, Franken plus 2. Michigan, again, another Trump state from 2016, Franken plus 4. The state of Arizona, Trump plus 6. The state of North Carolina, Trump plus 5, and the final state, the state of Florida, Trump plus 2, and the final state, the state of Georgia, another double-digit lead for the president. It is now 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and we have 6 new states polls have closed, totaling up to 60 electoral votes. Out of the state of Kentucky, 8 electoral votes, home state of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The state of Indiana, Vice President Mike Pence, home state, 11 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of South Carolina, 9 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of Georgia, an earlier call from 2016, 16 electoral votes, 31% reporting Donald Trump will take this state. Out of the state of Vermont, 3 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken, the first Democratic win of tonight. And the state of Virginia, the home state of Al Franken's running mate, Terry McAuliffe, is too close to call. The electoral map is on your screen now, and let me just explain what the ratings mean. The light blue is leaning Franken, the darker blue is likely Franken, and the solid blue is states that we have called for Al Franken, whilst on the Republican side, the solid is states that we have called for Donald Trump, the light red is leaning Donald Trump, and the darker red is likely Donald Trump. It is now 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have 3 new states polls have closed. Out of the state of West Virginia, 5 electoral votes handed Trump his biggest margin of victory in 2016, projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of Ohio, a huge swing state, projected to go to Donald Trump as the polls closed. Donald Trump will take its 18 electoral votes. Out of the state of North Carolina, it is too close to call with its 15 electoral votes. Al Franken has a 2% lead. And the electoral map is on your screen now, 3 for Al Franken to 67 for Donald Trump. It is now 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and we have a huge new batch of poll closings, totaling up to 169 electoral votes. Out of the state of Oklahoma, 7 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. Out of the state of Missouri, 10 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of Tennessee, 11 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of Alabama, 9 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of Mississippi, 6 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of Maine, 1 out of its 4 electoral votes are now projected to go to Donald Trump. This is coming from the 2nd Congressional District. Donald Trump will take its 1 electoral vote. The state of Illinois, 20 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken. The state of Maryland, one of the most democratic states in the Union, projected to go to Al Franken. The state of Delaware, 3 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken. The state of New Jersey, projected to go to Al Franken, 14 electoral votes. The state of Massachusetts, 11 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken. The state of Connecticut, trending more Republican from 2016, projected to go to Al Franken. The state of Rhode Island will go to Al Franken. The state of Maine, 3 out of its 4 electoral votes will go to Al Franken. Out of the District of Columbia, 3 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken. The state of Virginia, an earlier call from 2016, 13 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken. The state of Florida is too close to call, 29 electoral votes, one of the biggest prizes in the Union. Donald Trump has a lead here. Out of the state of Pennsylvania, it is too close to call, Al Franken slightly leading. The state of New Hampshire is too close to call. The electoral map is on your screen now, 91 for Al Franken to 111 for Donald Trump. It is now 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and President Bill Clinton's home state of Arkansas polls have closed. Out of the state of Arkansas, 6 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. And it is now 8:35 p.m. and we can now make one major projection. Out of the state of North Carolina, 15 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump, a solid 10% lead here for him. It is now 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and we have another huge batch of poll closings, totaling up to 156 electoral votes in total. Out of the state of Texas, 38 electoral votes, the second biggest prize in the Union, projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of Louisiana, 8 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. The state of Kansas, 6 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. The state of Nebraska, all 5 of its electoral votes are projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of South Dakota, 3 electoral votes going to Donald Trump, and so does South Dakota. There goes North Dakota with its another 3 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. And the state of Wyoming, 3 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. Out of the state of Arizona, another earlier call from 2016, 11 electoral votes landed in the Trump column tonight. And the state of New Mexico, 5 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken. The state of Minnesota, his home state, 10 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken. The state of New York, 29 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken. And the state of New Hampshire, 4 electoral votes will go to Al Franken, another earlier call from 2016. And the state of Pennsylvania is still too close to call, 20 electoral votes. The state of Colorado is too close to call, 51% for Al Franken to 44% for Donald Trump. The state of Florida is still too close to call. The state of Wisconsin is too close to call. The state of Michigan is also too close to call. The electoral map is on your screen now. 139 for Al Franken to 209 for Donald Trump. Donald Trump getting closer and closer to the 270 mark. Al Franken is right now behind with 139 electoral votes, with 36 electoral votes leaning and 9 electoral votes in the likely category. It is now 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and now we have 4 new states and 3 new projections. Out of the state of Utah, 6 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump will also carry the state of Montana with 3 electoral votes. And the state of Iowa will go to Donald Trump, 6 electoral votes. However, in the state of Nevada, it is too close to call, Al Franken leading. The electoral vote map is on your screen now. 139 for Al Franken to 224 for Donald Trump. He has 46 in the leaning category, meaning if these states went to him right now, he would win the election decisively, 270 to 183 for Al Franken. It is now 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and we can now make projections out of 5 new states, 82 electoral votes in total. Out of the state of California, the biggest prize in the Union, 55 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken. The state of Washington, 12 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken. The state of Oregon, with its 7 electoral votes, will go to Al Franken. The state of Hawaii, 4 electoral votes projected to go to Al Franken. The state of Idaho, 4 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. And the electoral map is on your screen now. Al Franken now has 217, and Donald Trump has 228. It is now 12:59 a.m. Eastern Time. We can now make major projections, 29 electoral votes in total. Out of the state of Florida, Donald Trump is the apparent winner of its 29 electoral votes with a strong 4% lead, with 99% of precincts reporting, and that puts him on the electoral map. We now have live coverage from the Donald Trump headquarters. As you can see, Vice President Mike Pence is walking out to speak to supporters, and Donald Trump is at 228, and Al Franken is at 217. We have to interrupt this to do our 1 a.m. poll closings. Out of the state of Alaska, 3 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. And in the state and the electoral vote map is on your screen now, 260 for Donald Trump, and Al Franken is at 217. It is now 12:59 a.m. Eastern Time, and we can now make one major projection. Out of the state of Florida, Donald Trump is the apparent winner with 4%, with a 4% lead, 99% of precincts reporting, and we now have live coverage from the Donald Trump headquarters, Vice President Mike Pence going out to speak to supporters at this moment. However, we have to interrupt his coverage right now to make the 1 a.m. poll closing call. Out of the state of Alaska, projected to go to Donald Trump, 3 electoral votes. And the electoral map is on your screen now, 217 for Al Franken to 260 for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is now 10 electoral votes away from the presidency of the United States. It is now 3:15 a.m. and we can now make 2 major projections. Out of the state of Nevada has flipped from the Democratic column. Al Franken will lose the state even though he was pulling ahead by a sizable lead. 98% reporting. Donald Trump has a 2% lead. He will take the state, and we can now project that the popular vote will go to Donald Trump, with 2% of the vote going to the third-party candidates, and Al Franken has 48% of the vote. And the electoral map is on your screen now. 217 for Al Franken to 266 for Donald Trump. Donald Trump needs 4 more electoral votes to be re-elected President of the United States, while Al Franken needs 53. And we now have more live coverage from the Donald Trump headquarters. They are extremely happy at this moment in time. Donald Trump is only 4 electoral votes away from being re-elected. It is now 4:15 a.m. Eastern Time, and now we can make one major projection, and this is the biggie. The state of Wisconsin will go to Donald Trump, and with that call, Donald Trump will be re-elected as President of the United States. Al Franken will come up as a loser in this election. He seemed like he was a front-runner in the Democratic primaries, but Donald Trump defeated him, even with his unfavorability rating at an all-time high. Donald Trump will be re-elected as President of the United States. Donald Trump will also carry the popular vote, which he did not do in 2016. He will win it by 2%, and we can show you this call in Wisconsin. Donald Trump with a sizable 3% lead. He is the apparent winner out of the state of Wisconsin, and the electoral vote map is on your screen now. 217 for Al Franken to 276 for Donald Trump. It is now 5:14 a.m. Eastern Time, and we can now make 2 major projections. Out of the state of Michigan, this one has flipped from the Trump column. Al Franken is the apparent winner of its 16 electoral votes, 99% reporting. And the state of Pennsylvania will go to Donald Trump. He has a 2% lead here. He's the apparent winner with 99% of precincts reporting. And the electoral vote map is on the screen now. 296 for Donald Trump to 233 for Al Franken. Al Franken is now 1 electoral vote ahead of where Hillary Clinton was in 2016. It is now 2 weeks later from Election Day, and we can now make one major projection. 9 electoral votes in total from the state of Colorado. The Secretary of State of Colorado has confirmed the election results, 100% of precincts reporting. Al Franken will take the state by 0.1. 9 electoral votes will go to Al Franken. And the popular vote is on your screen now, 50% for Donald Trump to 48% for Al Franken. And the electoral vote map is on your screen now, 296 for Donald Trump to 242 for Al Franken. And the chances of winning overnight, Al Franken started off with a sizable lead of around 10%, and then it expanded after some of the calls. However, as the night progressed, Donald Trump took the lead, and it went from a 60-40 advantage to a 100-0 advantage by the end of the night. And the final electoral map is on your screen now, 242 for Al Franken to 296 for Donald Trump. And I just want to talk to you guys about making a contribution to my Patreon. Please consider this. This helps me create my videos and expand my channel. The link is patreon.com/LTE. I'll leave it in the description below. And thank you all for 340 subscribers. I'm so close to 350. Another huge milestone at 350. I'm going to do a face reveal at 1,000 subscribers with my new series coming up then. I'll announce that when it happens. Comment suggestions for my new videos and my upcoming videos are Sherrod Brown versus Donald Trump election night and Tim Kaine versus Donald Trump election night. And I'm also going to be including a Donald Trump from 2000 versus a Donald Trump in 2016 prediction map. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.